I've been feeling pretty good lately. And I think it's because I've adopted some new habits and routines in my everyday life that's really sort of helping me just get my shit together. I'm feeling more productive, less scatterbrained, and in general, just overall happier. And I think a lot of these habits have something to do with it. So in today's video, I wanted to share with you 8 simple habits that are helping me get my together. And before we get into the habits, I want to thank Aura for sponsoring today's video. I've worked with Aura many times on the channel, and that's because they are my favorite all-in-one go-to resource for wellness and sleep. They have thousands of meditations, sleep stories, cognitive behavioral therapy, life coaching, and now they even offer live sessions like yoga, sound meditations, and so much more. They have certified coaches and teachers from all over the world, so there's going to be something for everybody. For me, I find when I'm starting to feel stressed or overwhelmed, or just sort of ruminating in a lot of my worries and thoughts, I like to do a 5 or 10 minute session of CBT or storytelling to sort of bring me back to myself and help me recognize the sort of cycle of limiting beliefs that I'm catching myself in. I found it super helpful, and I'm even starting to get into things like meditation and breathing practices, which has been really fun and beneficial. So I'm loving Aura to get into a better, more consistent mindfulness practice. And if you're ready to give Aura a try yourself, the first 500 people to click the link in the description below will get a free week trial plus 25% off your Aura subscription. It's pretty much a win-win because you can try it for free, and if you like it, then you get a discount. So check it out down below. Thanks, Aura. Okay, so the first habit that I feel like is really helping me get my together is to have a night before routine. Yes, this is like your everyday evening routine, but for me, I need to do a few things to make sure that my day the next day is running smoothly and the way I want it to. So what I like to do is take a look at my calendar for the next day, and then I go into an app called To Do. It is completely free, and I just find it really easy and a little bit more satisfying to use than like the Notes app on my phone, for example, or even my Google Calendar. I'll write out all the things I need to do, and then I will star the most important things and the things that are going to take me the longest. So I don't do things like overestimate the amount I can actually accomplish in that day. This has also really helped me make sure that I'm not missing appointments. And it even helps me plan things like when I'm gonna wake up or when I'm gonna work out the next day. So I can work to structure my day where it is most optimal for me to be productive, to do some of the things that I wanna do for myself, and even to have some downtime. Habit number 2 is working out regularly. I think every habit video you'll ever see on YouTube in the past, present, and future will all include saying something about exercise. This doesn't have to be anything super intense. It can be going for a walk. It can be doing yoga, Pilates, whatever really floats your boat. But for me, I'd say for the past year, I was really struggling with my consistency when it came to working out, and I would frequently just sacrifice my physical and even mental health in favor of getting more things done. For the past 6 weeks, I'd say, I've been working out consistently 3 times a week, and I'm doing this by going to an actual physical gym.
Game? What's a game? Oh, a game.
So I have to take time out of my day to travel there, to make plans around the gym. And so not only am I getting my body moving and really challenging myself, but I'm creating a new routine, and most specifically a routine that is getting me out of the house, getting me to eat properly, to sleep better because I'm tired after these workouts. And I'm finding that I'm adapting things in my life around the gym so that I can actually get there because I'm enjoying it that much. And it's just making me feel so much better. The gains, guys. Wait for it. Habit number 3 is to eat. Yes, that's right. Eat food. Imagine. If you don't like to talk about food or find the discussion of it a little bit triggering, then you can skip to this section of the video. But I think my diet and my eating patterns have been so messed up for so long. Like, how many TikToks have you seen about people making jokes about having their 3rd coffee of the day, but they haven't eaten anything yet? That was me for a really long time. Lately, I've been really prioritizing eating proper meals, sit-down meals, which I think is a direct result of going to the gym and the working out that I've been doing lately because my body's hungry. And I also just noticed that when I eat properly and take the time to have a meal and eat something every few hours, I'm less hangry, I have a lot less brain fog, my energy levels are more even throughout the day, and I swear 90% of the struggles that I have, especially when it comes to work and productivity, is all somehow correlated to my level of hanger. I would sort of like run on fumes and coffee for most of the day. Then I would be so hungry and tired that I would just end up ordering takeout, and we were doing that like 3 times a week. I did not feel healthy, I did not feel happy, and my energy levels were super low, and that was also just a waste of money. And the other thing that I've been trying to pay attention to with this is the amount of protein that I'm eating. I have been tracking my protein intake, and I have a certain goal that I'm trying to reach every day. Yeah, groundbreaking, eating regular meals, who knew? Habit number 4 is listening to and learning more stuff. I've been really getting back into things like audiobooks and listening to podcasts. And speaking of podcasts, if you guys don't know, I recently launched a new podcast with my friends and fellow YouTubers, Alyssa Beltempo and Sina from Use Less. It's called Sustain This, and it's basically just a chat among friends about all things slow fashion and intentional living. We are now on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, so if you haven't checked it out, I will leave it linked down below. I would love it if you guys took a listen and rated the podcast if you liked it. Lately, I've really been shifting my interest in the types of content that I'm consuming online. I used to really like to sort of dissociate and detach from reality by scrolling on TikTok. So when I'm doing things like commuting to the gym, or if I'm at the gym, or if I'm walking to work, I will now put on an audiobook or a podcast. Some books that I've read recently are David Goggins' second book called Never Finished. I recently finished Dopamine Nation by Dr. Ann Lemke. And I've been really into the Huberman Lab podcast. I just find it so interesting. But now I find I'm actually learning something when I am using this time. I'm really enjoying the content that I'm learning, and yeah, it just feels good. It's better. Habit number 5 is getting dressed. Yes, even if I'm working from home, if I'm going to work, if I'm going out for a coffee, I will make an effort to put on an outfit and get dressed so that I feel good and that I'm getting good use out of my clothes. This is my favorite way to just indulge in my love of fashion, my love of clothing. It's a fun way to play a little bit of dress up. It can do things like help you find your style uniform. It can help you define your style and how you would describe it. You can figure out what you like versus what you don't like. And in general, getting dressed can even help you with things like your own self-confidence and even how capable or how productive you feel that day. So the whole concept of look good, feel good really does have some weight here. And for me, I find it's really translated into a confidence in other areas of my life. And this brings me into habit number 6, and that is leave the house. I am such a homebody through and through. I love being home. I love being cozy and comfortable and safe in my house, but at the same time, you can kind of go a little stir crazy. It just helps create variety and breaks up the day a little bit. And for me, it goes hand in hand with a lot of the other habits that I've talked about in this video, like things like getting dressed or leaving the house to go somewhere else like the gym. Sometimes I will get dressed up just to go for a walk so that I can get dressed up, play around with my clothes, feel good about myself, and then go out and get further benefits by changing my scenery, changing my environment, and going out to get fresh air. Oftentimes, getting out of the house is the break that I feel like I need to reinvigorate me, to get an energy boost, and to even help me be more productive later by taking that break. Habit number 7 is to have a guilt-free spending category in my budget. Having a line in my budget that I've labeled as guilt-free has really transformed my relationship with money. Because as much as money is about math, it's more so about behavior and emotion. Why does money make us feel so guilty? Why do we feel shame or buyer's remorse after we buy something? For me, having a guilt-free spending money is a way to sort of optimize your budget and your spending without having to rely on perfectionism to do it. Because I realized feeling guilty about spending and thinking that it just wasn't as optimal as it should have been was such a waste of energy, and I'd end up spending the money there anyway. So if I know I'm gonna spend the money on that, whether it be on coffee, croissants, on a piece of clothing, or something just over the top ridiculous and frivolous, If that money is allocated in a place that I call guilt-free, then it doesn't matter. And if you want to know more about this, I do have a whole video on how I healed my toxic relationship with money. I will leave that linked down below. And finally, habit number 8 is to charge your phone anywhere else except your bedside table. I don't have an optimal bedtime routine besides looking at my calendar, but I find when my phone is next to my bed charging for the night, it's so easy for me to just grab my phone and start scrolling on TikTok and social media in an attempt to allow myself to wind down before bed. When in reality, all this does is just overstimulate me and keep me up and make it a lot more difficult for me to fall asleep. But I also use my phone as my alarm, and I didn't want to wake up late and miss that every morning, so all I did was simply move my phone and my charger to across the room. I found that this has not only helped me fall asleep and actually properly wind down for the evening, I've started reading before bed instead of scrolling on my phone before bed. I'm getting deeper, more quality sleep. And in the morning, I actually have to get out of bed to turn my alarm off, so I get up instead of hitting snooze 20 times like I normally do. So moving your phone, groundbreaking. Try it. So those are 8 simple habits that I've been doing lately that I've really noticed have been benefiting my life. I'm feeling better, I'm feeling more productive, and I'm just feeling happier overall, and I think these habits have a lot to do with it. Let me know if there's any new habits that you've been implementing that help you feel like you have your together. Let me know what they are down below. Thank you again so much to Aura for sponsoring this video. If you did want to give them a try yourself, the first 500 people can get a free week trial of Aura, plus 25% off an Aura subscription if you sign up. It'll all be there. Check it out. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you next Sunday. Bye.